Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kristen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some common design mistakes that you might be making in your home and how you can fix them. Sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference, and if you're looking for any ideas to improve your space, I hope this video helps. If you enjoy watching and find this video helpful, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and hit that like button, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. A very common design mistake that I see time and time again in living rooms and family rooms are TV consoles that are way too small for the TV size on top. Your TV should never be larger than your TV console. It creates an upside down triangular effect that makes your entire room look very off-putting. It makes it look top heavy, it makes your furniture look small. Your TV should always be smaller than that piece underneath. You should have at least about 8 to 12 inches on either side of the TV where your TV console can extend out to. This will give you room to style, decorate, but it will also create a nice grounding point for your TV and create an upwards triangular effect. That's the kind of effect you're going for. Heavy piece on the bottom, lighter on top. But the trick is finding that large enough piece to go underneath your TV. One hack that I think works wonders is just pushing multiple pieces together to create that long effect. That's going to create the correct length that you're looking for. It's going to provide more storage. This will allow you to get that large furniture piece look on a budget. Now, what if your TV is the exact same size as your unit underneath? I still think the unit underneath is too small. I think you need that long extending length that's larger than the TV for it to look right. I always recommend finding alternative pieces to the traditional media unit. Media units tend to be very open, they tend to look messy, they don't come with a ton of different style options. I actually prefer sideboards, dressers, cabinets, credenzas, anything that has a little bit more height to it and has closed storage. So if you're finding that all the media units out there are too small for what you're looking for, consider these alternatives so that you can create that look for less. Another furniture mistake that I've noticed is the unnecessary angling of furniture. Anytime there's furniture angled into a corner, like a bed, a sofa, a TV stand, anything that's not really supposed to fit in a corner that you have angled in a corner is throwing your whole room off. I think you should always follow the structure of your room. If your room is rectangular or square and you start angling furniture, it's cutting off lengths of your space and really throwing the entire design off. You can open up your space, make it look larger, make it look really put together if you bring your furniture back to a square position. This doesn't mean your furniture has to be hugging all the walls. I actually recommend bring your furniture off the walls when you can. The only time I really think angling furniture aids to the design of the space is when you have an accent chair and you're angling it into your family room or living room. An accent chair feels like something that you can move around the room. It's kind of flexible, so that angle definitely makes sense for conversation, for facing sofas and sectionals. Another angle situation would be if you have a curved or rounded sofa that you kind of have placed out in the middle of the room and it's technically angled. I think that makes sense because the sofa is such an artistic shape. It can really create a new design in your space. So if you have any angled furniture layouts in your home right now, consider making that switch. Try out a new layout, see if it opens up your space. There's nothing to lose. Now, I talk about runner rugs quite often because I think they definitely tie together small spaces around your home. Hallways, entryways, kitchens, bathrooms. Runner rugs look wonderful, but they have to be the right length for your space. You can't get any old runner rug. Make sure that your runner fits the length of the space that it's in. If you have a long hallway, make sure that your runner can pretty much go the entire length. If you have short runners in a long space, it makes your entire space feel small. You always want your runner rug to be as long as possible. You can also do multiple runners. There's no problem with putting two of the same runners back to back down a hallway to create that long effect. So if you've been looking into getting a runner for your space, make sure that it's long enough for your space, can pretty much span the entire length to create a large expansive look that looks designer in your home. Now, you know how much I love wall paneling. It's timeless, it's elegant, chair rail, picture frame molding, wainscoting, it's just beautiful. but it doesn't tend to look as beautiful when it's left painted white and your walls are a contrasting color. I think your wall paneling should always be seamlessly worked into your wall color, or else it looks like an addition that wasn't completed. It is a little bit more of a dated look as well, so it brings your home back to a little bit of the 80s, 90s by creating that effect. So I think if you have chair rail in your home, if you have picture frame molding, wainscoting, make sure that it's painted the same color as your wall color. It will elevate your home instantly. White molding with a colored wall just breaks your wall up into too many parts. It makes your space look busy and small, and you can make your space look large, designer, expensive if you just paint it all the same color as your wall. Or paint your trim, your wall color, and your molding all the same color, and it will make for a very designer high-end look. If you have any wall molding in your home, I think you're already a step in the right direction. I think it adds so much character and nice dimension to the walls of your home. So I think absolutely keep it. Just add to it with some paint to create even better of an effect. Now, if you have an open concept home, make sure that you design your entire open concept space in the same design style. It can start to look messy and confusing and a little all over the place if your living area, dining area, kitchen, entryway are all styled and decorated in a very different style. Try to maintain a cohesive look across all of those open concept spaces. If you can see from one space into the next, that design style should definitely continue into that space. If you have an open concept home that's decorated and furnished in different styles and you have no idea where to start with color palette. That's the easiest way to get going to create a cohesive look across your home. Start with the accent color. Maybe your rug in your front entryway is the same color palette as your throw pillows on your sofa, or your throw blankets, or your artwork in your living room. So color palette is the first recognizable element. So if you maintain that throughout, that will definitely help. You can also do this through artwork very easily. Since all of these spaces have walls, you can make sure that your artwork is all within the same style. So open concept homes are tricky because you are designing multiple spaces within one space. So make sure that they follow the same design style, the same color palettes, the same idea, and you will get a very elevated look. Now, when it comes to hanging a light fixture in your dining room, make sure that you hang it at the correct height. I see so many dining room light fixtures that are hung way too high, where they feel very separated from the dining table below. Always bring that light fixture down so that there's a gap of about 30 to 36 inches between the top of the table and the bottom of the light fixture. That is the sweet spot. So if you're ever measuring to install a light fixture, make sure you follow that guideline so that you end up with a very put together look. Sometimes light fixtures come with additional pieces. You can adjust the length of your chain to bring that light fixture down, and it will pull your space together instantly. Now, I think the key to a functional, beautiful entryway is finding the correct storage. Always have closed storage in your entryway. As soon as you are playing around with open storage situations, shelves and racks and baskets, it becomes messy and looks cluttered instantly, and it's not going to create that decorative, welcoming wow effect right when you walk in. So consider closed storage. I did this in my entryway. I started with an open calyx unit and added doors. This instantly upgraded my entryway, and it was a little DIY project that you can do as well. So I think open storage in an entryway is a design mistake. You can definitely improve the look of your space by just implementing closed storage. If you have shoe racks, maybe put them inside of a cabinet. They have so many slim options now for small spaces. You can implement a credenza in there. Fill it with all of your things that no one will ever see and make it look beautiful from the outside. This is especially important in those homes that enter right into a living space. If you don't have a designated entryway that has a front closet and storage, make sure you add that into your design. So your entryway is the first impression of your space, and if you want to make it the best, make sure that you have some closed storage to hide all of the clutter. Now, a color design mistake that I see very often are homes that don't have enough contrast. You always need need a contrasting element for things to really stand out and shine. So if you like that lighter, whiter, airy effect in your home, make sure that you still have some contrasting elements, or else it becomes one big blur, everything kind of blends in. You want some contrasting elements. Those can be small furniture choices like side tables and decorative elements, drink tables, ottomans. This will really add dimension to your home so that it doesn't look flat. This can also be done in any other color palette. If your home is very beige, make sure that you are integrating deep wood tones, black, white, and you're breaking up that overall color to create some dimension. And of course you can do this with those deep dark color palettes as well. If you're someone that really likes to create this deep moodiness in your home and you have dark floors, darker colored walls, break it up with some lighter elements. Maybe it's a lighter jute rug. That will help brighten up your home, but also highlight those dark elements. I think it definitely adds to the overall design, and you need contrast in every single space. Now, when it comes to small spaces, remember that you don't have to get small decor to go into that room. You can get large, full-size decor, and it will actually make that small space look larger. Small decor in a small space just tends to make everything look small and miniature and cluttered. Large artwork goes a really long way, and making that change from a small piece to a large piece will instantly upgrade the look of your space. Less is more when it comes to decor in small spaces, so less pieces that are actually large and oversized will actually look better. Definitely get furniture that is the right size for your space and that works, but when it comes to decor, go larger. All right, so that's it for my 10 common design mistakes that you might be making in your home. Let me know down below in the comments if you think you're making any of these and if you're planning on changing them. If you're looking for even more ideas on how you can improve your space, I'll leave the whole series that I've made on this topic linked down below in the description box. If you enjoyed watching and found this video helpful, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and hit that like button, and make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos. Click that red subscribe button down below and make sure you guys have my notifications turned all the way on so you're first to see the next video. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!